Capricorn, hello there. We are going to be talking about the transit of Saturn entering Pisces on March the 7th, okay? Now, this is going to be going through your third house. So if you want to know, anything about what is going to be happening here, you should listen to, let's see, Sagittarius just finished up with this, okay? They just finished that. So I didn't know any Sagittarian. Actually, I do know a Sagittarian rising. I'm lying. So I can speak a little bit to what that brought from that individual because that was my son. We share Cancer placements, so we had to both dealing with the pandemic, growing pains of him coming up, Capricorn, as well as him learning how to communicate, setting boundaries, and moving into his own voice while being able to communicate properly with his mom, myself, without coming off disrespectful, and me having to understand who he was. As you know, Capricorns, that's not easy. So that's some of the things that I dealt with my Sagittarian rising son. So that was actually his cross to bear, and I had to deal with it because it transit his third house as a rising. We both had to deal with eighth house things in this last transit. However, Capricorn, so you're going to be dealing with that. We're going to be talking about it going through your third house, all right? But first, let's talk about what the third house is. It's about communication, okay? It's the house of sharing. Ruled by Gemini and the planet of Mercury, it governs how you communicate and connect with others. It's not just about talking or texting. It means that something imparted, interchanged, or was transmitted. For that reason, a lot of astrologers will look to this house for more information on how someone's written and verbal communication styles and how they may interact with themselves, their environment, and those that they know well, okay? So with that being said, when Saturn enters Pisces on the 7th, you're wrapping up second house shit. And let me say, Cap, you've been through hell with this. I don't like second house placements. And I don't like what I have in my own natally second house. So I can just imagine what this did and wreaked havoc on your money and your possessions over the past 3 years. But let's go into it. Headline moment. An important new cycle begins this March the 7th when your ruling planet, which is Saturn, so it's a double whammy for you. I'm Capricorn moon, so it doesn't affect me from a rising or sun sign standpoint, but I get a little bit of this because my money was also a big deal, a really, really big deal. So I understand. Your ruling planet, heavyweight Saturn, moves into Pisces for the first time this century. The cosmic taskmaster will begin a 3-year march through your third house of communication and community. This should be a relatively easy Saturn cycle for you, Cap, coupled with Pluto leaving your sign for a spell later this month. Much lighter days could be ahead. So since March of 2020, Saturn's been in Aquarius, bearing down on your second house of daily income. You poor thing. If you were forced to tighten your belt, this is why. Saturn was last in Pisces May 21st, 1993 to April 7th, 1996. If you're old enough to remember what happened then, look for clues of how it may be resurfacing right now, okay? And so if you were born then, welcome to your very first Saturn return. All right? So one of the things, give me a second, that I want to discuss here. So sorry about that. So it may have a mental influence on you. You may feel pressure to come up with new ideas and make them work. This could be an opportune time to write that book or launch that podcast that you've been talking about. You also may go into some things about some issues, or not necessarily issues, but ideas with acquiring a higher level of education, which is also a possible route. However, make sure to give yourself some downtime, as this is a head in the clouds kind of influence, because everybody is saying that, of course, with Neptune being there, it could definitely be one of those head in the clouds type of situations. Now, Capricorn, I want you to understand that, you could definitely experience a lighter time. I believe that probably out of everyone, and I don't want to necessarily say that, but I do want to say that it may be a lighter time for you. But I don't want to say it as if everybody else is going to be so hard. But I want to give you some tools, because this is your ruler. So consider the area of your chart that Pisces rules. All right. Question what's real and what's not. Strive to make your dreams a little bit more concrete. All right. And I know you do that well. I don't think that you're going to have an issue there, but I want you to be able to recognize what is real and what is fake during this transit. All right. And I think you will be fine. I honestly don't see you having as much as a hard time as others. I don't, again, I want to tread lightly when I say that, but I just feel like it's not going to be necessarily hard for you, because it is going through, your third house. And I want to just finally say that you're no stranger to the stern and serious energy. You're not a stranger to it. But you will be, and it will be in your communication sector. So you may feel extra critical of the way that you speak, or of your own ideas, or self-conscious to how you express yourself to others. You're being guided to work through that discomfort. You're slowly honing your own unique voice and interacting with the world in a more meaningful way. Okay? You may find yourself being a little bit more discerning of what you say and how you say it, and the people that you share it with. And that may be a good thing, and I will say, I don't have Mercury in Capricorn, but I definitely am a Capricorn moon. And sometimes the way we say things, people, they definitely think that we are saying it because we're the level-headed ones, and they think that we're probably being a little too tame. So I want you to think about that. But by the end of this transit, it's definitely going to help you speak with much more authority and confidence. And I don't think you deal with that at work. I think, honestly, the majority of this discomfort is probably going to be in your personal life, if you really want to ask me what I think. I think that's where it is, where you're probably going to be dealing with the majority of the discomfort, okay? I hope that this transit finds you well. If you're listening on the podcast, go ahead and let me know how the last transit fared for you. Now you're giving that to Aquarius. So I know Aquarius, they don't like their finances being hit. So go ahead and drop down in the comments and let us know how you dealt with that. That would be fun to read. I know I got some Capricorn rising, of course, clients, but it could be the reason why I didn't hear from a lot of my Capricorns, especially in the last, I want to say maybe 12 months. It could be why, just because money was probably extra tight. And so I'm looking forward to seeing you guys now that, money is going to be stabilizing. All right, collective, I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.